Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you that all important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we're talking about
The Black Vortex, Chapter 7, 8, and 9.
That's right, fans. The Black Vortex, Chapter 7, 8, and 9. The continuation, you want to say probably the middle of the story right now. And instead of, reviewing these books individually, they all came out in the same week. So why not talk about them all at one time? All right. So the first book, I would say Chapter 7 and Chapter 9 really tie into the story heavily. And then Nova is almost like a self-contained story, but ties in nicely. So let's start off with Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 25, the Black Vortex chapter 27. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer, and let me just say that the art in this one is really well done. Valerio Skiddy, I think is the way you say it. First off, the book opens up beautifully in these pages right here. And this is Beast's point of view of him trying to save the world or trying to save the universe, and even him as a cosmic state, as a cosmic, I guess, entity with the Black Vortex. He can't even save the universe. So it's pretty cool. And if you look at the descriptions below, you can see that everything he looks at, it's like in a extinction or whatnot. So really cool there. But the overall artwork with the book was really well done. You got the Supreme Intelligence there. There was cool paneling in this particular issue as well because of what happens in this issue with the actual Kree home world. We get to see that there's missiles coming down that separates the paneling. So that was really well done. This page right here of the actual Kree planet exploding was really well done. And I just love the overall issue and the destruction and the chaos that happens. It's like, oh my God, that's crazy of what happens here. But it's all because of this Black Vortex mirror, why all these events are happening. So, like I said, this book starts off with Beast realizing that he can't save the universe. The universe is just bound to be destroyed or whatnot, and he can't stop it from making the universe that he wanted. Supreme Intelligence is ordering these guys not to have the Black Vortex mirror, and what happens is Nova winds up stealing the mirror. That's what happens in this, and then based off of what happens in this particular issue, it sets off a chain of events that again, where Knife, Quill's father, winds up setting off this missile as the Guardians are trying to escape. And what happens is just as the world is just about to blow up here, our heroes wind up escaping, and Knife has no reserve about it. The whole world is being destroyed, and again, it's all because of the Black Vortex. So I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy stuff that's going on in the issue. But no one has the mirror. The only person that actually has the mirror by the end of the issue is actually Nova. So, and then basically in the end, we wind up seeing that Magic and Gamora and Beast are going to wind up having to team up here in the actual issue towards the end to try to stop everybody. And that's basically how the issue ends here. Great artwork. There was good tones to the book with a lot of destruction, teammates working together in dire moments, and it was just awesome the way it ended. So I was really impressed with this first part of the issue. Now when we go into Nova issue number 28, this is Black Vortex chapter 8, we get to see this book is written by Jerry Duggan. So this is not really the the event. It's not written by Brian Michael Bendis, but it's a nice tie-in because what it does is that it talks about Nova and what he does with the actual mirror in here. And the artwork is done by David Baldwin. So we see Nova in this issue. He takes the mirror, and I love the way all the cosmic part of the universe is drawn. It looks very realistic. I love the mirror, the way it's drawn in here as well. It just, you get to see the struggles here with Sam Alexander on possibly becoming this ultimate Nova if he submits to the mirror. And he was tempted throughout this issue quite a few times. He really was really debating about trying to be this supernova or whatnot, because he's like, oh, I can save my dad, I can do this and I can do that. So there was all kinds of things that he was deliberating over if he should do it or not. And you can see he was really that close to touching the mirror. But he was just like, wait a second, I gotta think about my parents here. I gotta think about everything that's going on. He's like, nothing comes to you for free. There's always a price to pay. And I love that message of what the issue was trying to bring here. As the issue progresses, we get to see some humorous moments in here with the sister and whatnot, and Nova trying to call Jarvis and see if he could get Vision to come take this mirror because he's not a human soul or whatnot. And you get to see those family dynamics. The sister's looking at the mirror and she's like, "That's mine," and all of a sudden you got the collector coming to the door and he wants to collect the mirror for himself. So basically this mirror just causes all kinds of chaos. It's very valuable, it's very powerful, and everybody wants it, whether it's the Guardians, Nova, the collector, the Kree. I mean, just everybody wants it for some reason. So what happens is Nova tries to go back to Spartex, and he winds up that what happens is Knife is there, and we get to see Knife and Thane there. Nova's in this battle with Knife and Thane, and Thane winds up prevailing, and he winds up using the Powers Mirror, and he winds up changing into this right here. So you're like, oh man, so now it's just like Thane has this ultimate revenge here on trying to go after whoever killed his flock. And so it makes him a much more driven character to become evil or take his father's place at the throne. So, and yet you're still here to see what is the motive between Knife's plan here with going forward, also why he's so interested in working with Thane and whatnot. So really cool issue. This was a really good tie-in issue. I felt that this was so much of a tie-in that you really needed to read this one, even though, I mean, it does say chapter 8, so I guess it really does, but I thought Michael Bendis wrote every single one of these issues, and like I said, Jerry Duggan wrote this, and I think you would think that Michael Bendis was writing this. So this was a really well done issue. So really enjoyed it as well. So now when we go into Legendary Starlord, Chapter 9 of the Black Vortex, now you get to see what's going on here. It looks like Starlord has the mirror, but he's encased into this yellow shell or whatnot. And the cover stays true here. In this particular issue, again, artwork is done really well because this one is done by Paco Mandina. So I love how the art throughout these chapters have stayed consistent, pretty much from chapter 1. When you had and the artist's name is kind of escaping me right now, that did Arrow in those few issues, it kind of just threw the whole series off. But now the art seems to be consistent, and it goes well with the book here. But in this issue here, we get to see that our heroes are on Spartex, and Knife and Thane are using this magic or whatever, and the Brood is with them, and they're creating the planet to have a more, make it more mass, have more gravity, and then all of a sudden, everyone is encased in this like jewel-like state. It's weird, and it was a mystery at first, and you're sitting there as the reader going, "Oh my God, I can't believe what's going on here." And all of a sudden, you see Jean Grey. She's experiencing everything that's going through all the civilians' head throughout the issue here, and you would think that Kitty Pryde was trapped in this casing because she was. But she wound up phasing through it, but she couldn't phase anybody out through it. You get to see some good moments here between Peter Quill and Kitty Pryde on how much they truly love each other, that they care for each other, and their relationship has grown over the past few months here. And really love this art piece here. This is a really well done uh, page here. So I really enjoyed it artistically. So as the art continues, you get to see this little moment between the girls reuniting and things like that. We get to see Magic and Beast and everybody else reunite here. And Peter's not too happy about it, but Magic's trying to keep the peace going. Okay, well, they're here. They're helpless. Let's deal with this. Then all of a sudden, you get this whole other thing thrown at you, and you find out that the Brood is wind up coming to Spartex. And as we progress further, we find out the plan on why Knife is working with Brood Queen because he wants to complete this contract. For every 10 planets he conquers with them, he gets one planet. So as time accumulates, he becomes more and more powerful, owning his own planets. So that's what he does, and that is his deal. So the Brood Queen releases all these like mini broods or whatever, and they're fertilized with all these. They have all these eggs in them. So their goal here is to eat through that hard, like yellow shell, and embed the civilians with their eggs through their skull. And so what happens is that the brood population will grow overnight by 72 billion brood. So all of a sudden you get the outcome of that, and then you wind up finding out that the Slaughterlords are back and they're going to attack. So lots of chaos going on right now in the Black Vortex. And again, all these events are because when you look at it, Peter Quill and Kitty Pryde taking that Black Vortex mirror from the very start. Would all of this happen if that Vortex mirror was just kept in nice possession? I'm not sure. But in these last 3 chapters, you have seen a lot have happened. You've seen a planet get destroyed, a civilization pretty much get destroyed. You're getting to see another civilization or species populate itself, and you get to see a relationship that gets much stronger in here. This is a pretty good event. I really enjoy the Black Vortex. I kind of lost it there when Sorrentino's artwork was in there because I didn't feel as connected to the story. But for some reason, this artwork does it for me. It fits the event a little bit better. And I love this outcome because it's been kind of unpredictable. I didn't know where this is going. Not everyone is getting changed. Not everyone is getting possessed by the mirror's, temptation. And I think it's overall so far a good story. Now we have 4 issues left, I think. How will Marvel wrap this up? They tend to wrap things up where it's very, it becomes a weak ending. And then my one other gripe about this particular story is that these issues were released 3 weeks together. And it's like almost like, okay, well, why don't we just read it in trade if you're going to release all these books out at once? And I know they're trying to wrap things up here going into the summer for Secret Wars, and I think that's why they're doing it. But nevertheless, besides that, it's a really good story. I've really enjoyed it so far. It is $3.99, so you had to shell out $12 this week to read these chapters. But I think overall, solid story. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 all the way around for chapters 7, 8, and 9. And I think this is a cosmic event that you guys should give a chance. And if you haven't given it a chance in single issue form, definitely worth picking up in trade. So guys, leave me your comments below what you think of this Black Vortex event so far. Do you care? Do you not care? Are you just waiting for Secret Wars to start, or are you just going to wait for this to come out in the trade? So fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0, and for the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, fans. Take care. Bye.